society of Maycomb, the prejudice against blacks is ubiquitous. Audiences see the prevalent racism held by Maycomb citizens in To Kill a Mockingbird, especially during Tom Robinson's trial. So what good is there in this poisoned community? Well, it is not exactly a what, but rather a who. For the character of Jem Finch truly showcases morality within Maycomb and is a truly firmly upright individual against prejudice. In the beginning of the novel, readers recognize Jem as an athletic and innocent child. He loves football and quickly believes in the rumors about Boo Radley. In addition, he is also protective of Scout and naive to the outside world. However, in chapter 12, Jem undergoes puberty when he turns 12. According to the novel, quote, he was difficult to live with, inconsistent, moody. His appetite was appalling, and he told me so many times to stop pestering him. I consulted Atticus. Reckon he's got a tapeworm? Atticus said no. Jem was growing. From this point on, Jem gradually turns into a mature young adult who is aware of Maycomb. Especially from Tom's trial, he becomes acquainted with the world and its several characteristics. He also matures physically when, in chapter 23, Scout notices that his eyebrows were becoming heavier, and I noticed a new slimness about his body. He was growing taller. At the end of the novel, the readers learn that Jem broke his arm when Bobby Wool attacked him and Scout. Thus, he is unconscious for the majority of the ending. With Jem, Harper Lee matures his character early in the novel and throughout the events of To Kill a Mockingbird. She does not only add a different perspective from Scout, but also contrasts and emphasizes Scout's innocent characteristics. Jem often protects Scout and is a victim to Maycomb society. The symbol I used to portray Jem was pieces of a knight's armor, with a helmet, sword, and a shield. So first, the knight's helmet symbolizes Jem's wise thinking. On page 298, Scout says, I wondered what Jem was thinking. He'd tell me when we got home. This shows Jem's contemplations during certain situations. In addition, because Scout predicts when Jem would probably tell her what he was thinking, it shows that it is a habit for Jem and that he thinks a lot. In addition, in chapter 23, Jem begins to understand the world around him and thoroughly deliberates about Maycomb and Boo Radley. In the novel, it states, Scout, I think I'm beginning to understand why Boo Radley stayed shut up in his house all this time. It's because he wants to stay inside. Jem consistently contemplates life and learns lessons about society. Next, the knight's shield represents how Jem constantly protects Scout from others and Maycomb. When Miss Maudie's house catches on fire, Jem comforts Scout while they watch everyone try and calm the flames. On page 69, it states that, quote, Jem put his arm around me. Hush, Scout, he said. It ain't time to worry yet. I'll let you know when. He spares Scout any emotional grievance or distress by shielding her from harm. In addition, when Scout humiliated herself during the Halloween pageant, when she did not appear on cue, Jem comforts her again on page 259. How he could tell I was feeling bad under my costume, I don't know. But he said I did all right. I just came in a little late. That was all. Jem was becoming almost as good as Atticus at making you feel right when things went wrong. The siblings greatly trust each other. Jem showcases his protectiveness of Scout and how his mature characteristics enable him to shield her. Lastly, the knight's sword represents Jem's fiery spirit and sometimes aggressive behavior to attack. However, he is enabled only by what he believes is right to do. For instance, when Mrs. Dubose insults Atticus and his choice of defending Tom Robinson in chapter 11, Jem gets extremely angry and destroys her camellia bushes. Although it was a selfish and harmful deed, Jem was motivated by his beliefs and morality. He did it only upon the justification of the racism and prejudice directed towards him and his family, exemplifying his good nature. Now, the theme I chose to portray for Jem was maturity through the representation of a dragonfly. Throughout the world, these insects, with their light wings and rapid flights across bodies of water, not only represent self-growth, but also represent the physical, emotional, and mental growth of someone. Although there are characters in the novel who mature, Jem represents maturity the most in that he undergoes it early and personifies grounded characteristics throughout his experiences. In chapter 1, Jem describes Boo as about 6.5 feet tall, judging from his tracks. He dined on raw squirrels and any cats he could catch. That's why his hands were bloodstains. He also went on to perform antics against Boo Radley and to bother him and annoy him. However, later, after Tom Robinson's trial in chapter 25, on page 242, Jem truly matures as he advises Scout not to kill a bug because they don't bother you. From an innocent and rather intruding child towards a mature young adult who is aware of Maycomb society, it truly shows his mature characteristics. He consistently represents a knight as he attacks racism head-on, thinks wisely, and protects Scout from danger. The theme of maturity is greatly represented through him. Jeremy Atticus Finch is an everlasting character who has touched the hearts of many.